All right, back at you with part two, comic lovers, of the 50 Cent haul from Phoenix Fan Fusion. So 2022, let's just get right into it. Five of a Kind. This is Thunder and the Martian Manhunter. This is a Countdown tie-in. There was a series of these Five of a Kinds, and they're just one-issue things that are Batman's testing the new Outsiders. Or he's taken back control of the Outsiders, so he's testing them. So next, I got Backlash #1 from Image, and you'll notice if you look at this, it's signed. Now, there's no certificate or anything in the back, but that, because I've had his signature on other stuff, is Brett Booth. And this is, there, clearly you can see his name, it's Sean Ruffner's. If I get this slabbed, and I'm pretty sure these are authentic signatures, they definitely do look. The Brett one, like I've seen him sign stuff. If I really wanted to, I could, send it off to CBC to be graded and slabbed and certified or authenticated, I guess is what they call it. But I don't know that I ever will. We'll just see. It's in pretty good shape. There is some stuff down here. I'm not sure what that is. Again, I haven't graded any of these or anything else. These are 50 Cent books, right? And I found a signed one. So that's pretty cool. Fathom. My wife loves Fathom. And so anytime I see Fathom stuff, I pick some up for her. Yeah, and she may have it. I don't really worry about it. I just grab it. Ballistic #2. Clearly, at one time, this was a very popular book because it has $16 on it. But yeah, 50 cents now. That's the 90s stuff, right? Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, so we got this Awesome Entertainment's Fighting American, Rules of the Game #2. This is the second series by Awesome Entertainment. Fighting American was created by Simon and Kirby. Partially they were upset because Captain America was being brought back by Atlas Comics. Atlas is between Timely and Marvel, what Marvel Comics was called. And so so they were upset and they created Fighting American. Kind of funny, and I may go into this. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube on this, so you could find it somewhere else. I don't, know all the ins and out details, but my understanding is that Rob Liefeld created a story using Captain America for Marvel, and they were struggling at the time. So Marvel has struggled over the years, just like DC and any other publisher. And they weren't going to pay him. They couldn't afford it. Basically, they wanted it cheaper. He wasn't going to do it, so they didn't buy the story. Rob wanted to still publish it, so he went to Joe Simon, who was still alive, and Roz Kirby, who was still alive. Roz is Jack's wife, or was Jack's wife, and asked to license it. Because one of the cool things is the Fighting American, when he was created, he was actually owned by the creators. That wasn't normally done at the time. This is in the early 50s, but he was. So they owned him. Rob asked to license it, and they basically gave him a figure, and it was too much for Rob. So Rob was like, I can't afford it. And he decided to do his own character, Agent America. And there's a couple of, I think there's one issue that has of Agent America, like a 0, and then there's a couple posters. And it was like a preview, so it wasn't really a story. And maybe a couple posters that he was going to use. Joe Simon threatened to sue him. They went back and renegotiated, and Rob did have the rights to do a couple of series. And this is the second one, Rules of the Game. I think Dogs of War is the third one, and the first one was just called, I think, Fighting American. Anyway, so they did publish them for 3 series, and this is number 2 of the second series. One of the versions. He was big on covers, so there's like 4 different covers of number 1, multiples of number 2, etc. Very much like Marvel and DC tend to do now with multiple covers. Hoping that somebody's going to just fall in love with the cover, I guess. And that's fine, people do. They definitely buy books for covers. I've done it, so I understand. But I don't think it's going to be worth like a ton just because you've got a special cover. Unless it's a rare, like less printed, then of course they do become popular. So Glory, number 5. And then Awesome's Judgment Day. This is Alan Moore's script. Number Alpha. Love it. Greek letters. Youngblood, number 2. The Awesome Entertainment. This is by Moore. So that's pretty cool. And then we got some more Image. We got Grifter number 2. Grifter number 6. And Wild Times, Grifter number 1. Midnighter. This is Wildstorm Productions, so I think that's right about the time they're working with DC. New Force number 2. This is after it was New Men, it became New Force, I believe is the order it went. Number 3. And number 4. I have a bunch of Image at this point we'll kind of touch on. So, Ultra number 4. Oops. Something else there? Okay. Number 4. I love these magazine style covers. Kind of look cool. I always like covers that kind of try to reinvent things. So, Union number 4. And then we come back and we have Union number 2 of the next series of Union. And Union number 4. And now just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. So we have Cross Time Caper for Excalibur number 18. A Cosmic Powers number 3. This one is Jack of Hearts and Ganymede. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. Number 4, Legacy. This is Captain Marvel, the Marvel's Captain. Let's try this again. Marvel's Captain Marvel's son. Namor, number 40. And Wonder Man, this is part of the limited series. This is number 2. And of course Wonder Man with Beast was the team to beat back in the old Avengers day. Then we got some Justice League JLA Classifieds. So this is number 9, number 24, number 28, 29, and then we have Justice League Dark. This is the New 52's version. This is number 2. I ended up getting a couple number 3s. I got 2 Justice League Dark number 4. That can kind of happen when you make big stacks. I'm not real worried. Number 5, number 6. Looks like those are the only 2 duplicates I ended up with, so that's not bad. Number 6, number 12. Again, this is that new 52. Number 18. 21. 24. 25. 26. This is part of that Forever Evil tie-in. 27. 28. 29. And 36. And then we have the Justice League Dark number 3 after the new 52. Justice League Elite, we have number 3, number 4, number 6, number 8, number 10. Again, not everything was there. And number 11. All right. Now, reach up and grab these. We have, if you've watched my other hauls, you kind of know I have a fascination with All-Star Squadron, but I also have a fascination with Legion Superheroes. So, Legion Superheroes number 268. So let's see, the Legion Superheroes actually starts in issue 259 is their first issue, because they came out of Superboy, which in the later issues was Superboy and the Legion Superheroes. 277. And so originally they were created by Otto Binder and Al Plastino. First appeared in Adventure Comics, number 247, back in 1958. So this is number 278. They stopped being in Adventure Comics around issue number 380 in 1969. This is issue 279. Over their long time, they've had many authors and artists, other than Otto and Al. So Jim Shooter started there back in, I don't know, 66. I think he was like 14 or 15 years old. Jim Shooter, who else? E. Nelson Birdwell, Cary Bates, Paul Levitz, Gary Conway, Roy Thomas, many others. And the artists, other than Al, like Kurt Swan's done them, George Tuska, Dave Cochran. Let's see, this is 281. And I should mention, like cover artists have been even more so, right? Because let's see. So Dave Cochran's done art. Mike Grell, who I mentioned before, did a lot of what I consider the typical outfits. James Sherman, Joe Stanton, Jimmy Jones, Jimmy James, Steve Ditko even did a few, Pat Broderick, and of course Keith Griffin. This is a George Perez cover, right? So I mentioned George Perez did a bunch of the covers. The art inside is Jimmy James on this one. And I believe this was written by Jerry Conway or Roy Thomas. They were both involved in this Reflecto story arc that was really pretty long. And then here we have, let's see, so is it here? So this is issue 281 and 283, and this is Jim Aparo's cover. And so when we talk about the writers of this, really Jerry Conway and Roy Thomas, of course, Roy's done so much, and Jerry also did that story arc that I was talking about, and they did others. And the other big writer would be Paul Levitz, and this is 285. This is a Pat Broderick cover, and then Keith Giffen is probably the artist most associated with the Legion of Superheroes. 286, and his style grew on this particular book, so that's always cool when you see them adapt and change. 288, and this is his cover, one of his covers. Obviously he did so many. Who else? I mentioned Grell. After Adventure Comics, they ran for about a year as a backup in Action Comics before it got picked up by Superboy, and then it was in Superboy starting in issue 172. That would be about 71. This is 289, and it stayed there well, basically until it took over the title with, like I said, issue 259. 304, Legion of Superheroes, and then 305, 306, and then here's where it, somewhere between 306, because I don't remember the exact issue, and 318, they became Tales of the Legion of Superheroes, because they were just reprinting stories that were in the Baxter paper version. As far as annuals go, they had Annual 1 back in 82. They had Annual 2 in 83. This is the wedding of Princess Projecta and Karate Kid. And then in 84, they had Annual number 3. And the Baxter paper one did have an annual, at least one, well, a couple annuals. So their Annual 1 came out in 85. And then their Annual 2, when was this? This was 86. And then the Legion of Substitute Heroes had a special, number 1. And then, of course, when they started in the 90s, people got darker, I guess. They brought in Legion, Legion, which was a precursor to the Legion of Superheroes in modern days, is what it was supposed to be. I don't remember when it started. I know it was going on in the 90s, maybe 89, and then it kind of ran through. So this is in 93. That's how kind of how they were broke. They had the last number. This is number 57. Legion 90, Annual 1, obviously happened in 90. And then Legion 92, Annual, happened, of course, in 92. And that was part of the Eclipso story arc. So there's been a lot of information that I shared on the comics and stuff I knew about them, but I kind of, I don't know, did you guys like that? Do you not like that? Do you want to hear about the comics? Do you want like a spotlight on a particular comic or a spotlight on a particular character or creator? Definitely let me know. So how many comics did I end up with, and how much should I pay? 150 books, $70. That was after tax and everything. actually after credit card fees, because I had to use my card. I didn't have that much cash. So after their little fees, I think it was 65 before then, and then they added their fees, so right around 70 bucks. Pretty good deal, lots of cool stuff. Now comes the hard part, getting everything's cataloged. Someone asked about that, so I'm going in the comments of one of the previous videos, so I'm going to share some of what goes into me cataloging my L's. That seems to be where I'm at. Into the particular app I use, the software I use, and the process. So that'll be coming up shortly. I do have one video. I'm going to stop by a local comic shop, pick up some stuff. I'll share that haul, and then that video will go up, and then I'll get to work on sorting and cataloging, and I'll share some of that. Again, let me know in the comments what you guys think, what kind of size videos you guys want, and what you guys want to see. If you want to know more about the creators, I do dabble in the creators, especially those I love, so I'm cool with that. Again, just have a good day, all right? And we'll see you later with some more old comic guy hauls. Have a good day.